I like that.
Sand filter. My Pentair Pool Sand Filter 2013 is leaking out the backwash or waste port. We replaced the spider gasket. It continued to leak, so we replaced the entire top 6-way valve. It's still leaking. When we try to backwash, there's hardly any pressure. Water just runs out. The filter water pressure is great, but the pressure gauge is staying very low, around 4. We've cleaned a lot of pollen out of the skimmer basket. We vacuumed away just fine. We added a ball valve to close off the backwash leak for a temporary leak, as we're waiting on someone to fix it. Haven't heard back yet. Do you have any ideas on what we could do next?
Well, I would say that was a really good thing that you put the ball valve on the backwash line to close it to help prevent that. However, if you've replaced the spider gasket itself, which is the primary culprit of this, the secondary culprit, which it sounds like you replaced as well, which is the multi-port valve itself. Typically what's in there is the spring is forcing pressure against that spider gasket and spinning. If that didn't work, the only really other thing it is that the body of the multi-port valve itself has a crack in it. So no matter how much pressure you put down with the new multi-port guts in there or the gasket, you're still getting the leaking. So ultimately, I think the only solution is to replace the entire multi-port valve and body itself. And for kicks and giggles, you might just want to replace the pressure gauge right now and see what happens, because that anomaly of it being a low pressure might just have something to do with the valve, the pressure gauge itself. But to me, if the guts of the multi-port valve were replaced with something new, with a new spring inside, because that spring forces that plate down when you turn it and spin it. If it was brand new, then that spring should be good. If it was just another old one off of something else, that spring might have been weak and I could see it leaking. But if the gasket was installed properly and that multi-port guts were installed properly, the only other thing that it could possibly be is a crack in the multi-port valve plastic itself, that whole unit. And likely that's the thing to replace, is just pull that out and redo the whole thing.